Hope your holiday week is humming along well. It's Wade for the Kingdom Report back with you once again, covering all the latest headlines, news, and trending topics coming out of the Walt Disney Company and Disney parks from coast to coast. Today we start at Disneyland, and the Orange County Register is reporting that Disneyland delivered an early Christmas gift for annual pass holders as the Anaheim theme park replenished Magic Key reservation availability on virtually every day through late March after the cupboard had grown bare throughout most of December. Disneyland replenished Magic Key reservation availability from Thursday, December 23rd through March the 23rd for all 4 tiers of the new annual pass program. The new Magic Key annual passes went on sale in late August after Disneyland killed its former 4-decade-old annual pass holder program in January during the extended coronavirus closures of the parks. Disneyland sold out of the top-priced Dream Key in late October amid howls of angry pass holders due to the widespread lack of reservations available for the $1,399 pass with no blockout dates. The $949 Believe Key sold out in late November, while the $649 Enchant Key and $399 Imagine Key remain available. The Flush reservation calendar represents a complete turnabout for pass holders who had seen dwindling and diminished availability become the norm. At the beginning of the month, daily ticket and annual pass holder reservations were unavailable for the rest of December. A Magic Key holder has filed a lawsuit alleging Disneyland artificially limited theme park capacity and blocked pass holders with no blockout annual passes from making reservations. The new batch of Magic Key reservations has quieted complaints from pass holders, at least for now. The top-tier Dream Key pass holders saw refreshed reservation availability throughout the typically busy week between Christmas Day and New Year's Day, including coveted spots on New Year's Eve. Weekend dates that had been often difficult to obtain have been refilled throughout the first 3 months of 2022. The replenishment of the Magic Key reservation calendar comes as Disney California Adventure prepares for the Lunar New Year event on January 21st through February 13th, and the Food and Wine Festival on March 4th through April 26th. Once again, our many thanks to the Orange County Register for those words. ClickOrlando.com reports that Walt Disney World is ready to welcome guests back to the surf and sand at Typhoon Lagoon Water Park. Disney has announced that the water park will officially reopen on January 2nd during the resort's 50th anniversary celebration. The park is home to one of the world's largest outdoor wave pools that also features slides, flumes, and wet and play spaces for every age and member of the family. Quote, known for its immersive storytelling, thrilling water attractions, and family fun, the Typhoon Lagoon tells the fabled tale of a rogue storm and its ensuing tidal wave that wreaked havoc on a formerly pristine waterside paradise, Disney described in a news release. From topsy-turvy architecture to storm-strewn nautical gear to the stranded shrimping ship Miss Tilly impaled upon the summit of Mount Mayday, each detail brings the legend to life for guests in different ways. The park has been closed to guests since March 15th, 2020, the day Disney closed its parks due to the coronavirus pandemic. Disney's Blizzard Beach water park reopened to guests on March 7th. Blizzard Beach will close for its annual refurbishment on January the 2nd. To mark the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World Resort, Typhoon Lagoon will add several new menu items, including an iridescent ice dream cone, Walt's chili nachos, and a selection of mouth-watering new Dole Whips. Private surf lessons in the park's wave pool are also returning on January 7th. Bookings are now available at DisneyWorld.com. Before we move on to the next story, just a quick mention that if you are somebody who enjoys yourself a great bowl of cereal but can't stand the guilt that comes with it, well, look no further than Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is the new adult-style cereal with the childhood taste. The same great taste that you remember from being a kid has now been replicated into a much healthier version of cereal that doesn't taste like cardboard. In fact, it is delicious. Go ahead and head on over to MagicSpoon.com, enter the promo code KingdomTeam, and get yourself $5 off at checkout. That's MagicSpoon.com, promo code KingdomTeam. Once again, our thanks to Click Orlando for those words. We move along now to 4 predictions for 2022 when it comes to the Walt Disney Company, produced to us by The Motley Fool. They write, "It's been a whirlwind year for the Walt Disney Company. Disneyland reopened, its movies started playing in theaters again, its cruise ships resumed sailing, and plenty will happen in the year ahead. The big cheese of media stocks is widely followed, but it can always throw a few curves at the market. He says, let me take a stab at some of the things that will and a couple of the things that won't happen with Disney in 2022. Don't worry though, I'm sprinkling my crystal ball with pixie dust to make it the best forecast possible. He says, number 1, Bob Chapek will stay as CEO. He writes, I may as well start with the prediction that will upset a lot of Disney fans. CEO Bob Chapek is routinely slammed on social media, particularly by theme park fans who aren't pleased with recent moves at the entertainment behemoth's gated attractions. There was even chatter, likely little more than wishful thinking, that well-liked Bob Iger would return to the helm. It's not going to happen, he writes. Chapek is staying. He's done more right than wrong since taking over as CEO just as the pandemic was descending in the US, shuttering his theme parks, cruise ships, mall stores, and movie theaters just 2 weeks later. Chapek has been vilified for moves that will enhance the profitability of its theme parks. Regular visitors may not like it, but it's the kind of stuff that a boardroom will cheer. Number 2, Disney stock will move higher. Investors have to be scratching their heads. Outside of Disney Plus and, to a certain extent, its media network segment, Disney was pounded by the pandemic in 2020. The stock still moved 26% higher. This year has been one of Disney resuming its dominance at the box office and turnstiles, but the stock is trading 16% lower through Monday's close. Predicting that Disney will move higher in 2022 may not seem like going too far out on a limb. The stock has a positive year far more often than not. However, after the wild gain in an uncertain 2020 and a decline through this year's rebirth, everything is upside down. Disney will get it right on both ends in 2022, the business will improve, and investors will reap the rewards. Number 3, the dividend doesn't come back. A lot of the companies that suspended their payouts in 2020 have resumed their distributions in 2021. But Disney has been a holdout. Back in September, Chapek said that bringing back its dividend was something that would happen, quote, sort of in the distant future, close quote. The disbursements will come back once Disney improves its credit rating, gets past the COVID-19 crisis, and improves its cash flows. It's hard to see Disney checking off all 3 of those boxes in 2022. Disney Plus isn't expected to turn an operating profit until fiscal 2024. While that's just one business in Disney's wide portfolio, it will drag down the company's cash flow and credit rating in the process. The COVID-19 situation has only gotten worse in the past 3 months. Disney's dividend never amounted to much, and right now, that money is better spent turning the company around. And finally, number 4 for predictions, he writes, Tron at Disney World won't open in 2022. It's been more than 4 years since Disney announced that Shanghai's Tron-themed attraction would be coming to Disney World in 2021. It's been 3 years since the iconic Disney World Railroad has been closed to allow construction of the family-friendly thrill ride to take place. Tron Light Cycle Run didn't open this year in time for the Florida resort turning 50 in October as originally intended. Unlike the other coaster that Disney announced in 2017, a Guardians of the Galaxy-themed rotating story coaster with an official summer 2022 opening date, Disney has been mum on the Magic Kingdom's Tron edition. Even if the new Tron ride is ready in a couple of months, why would it open? The Marvel coaster will be the top draw for the upcoming summer season. It makes more sense for Tron Light Cycle Run to wait until either early 2023 to attract visitors near the end of the resort's 18-month celebration, or even closer to the summer when the tourist season starts. He says, I can definitely see the train reopening at some point in 2022. The construction work that halted the railroad rides around the park should be completed in the next few months. I just feel that Disney will strategically hold back on the new coaster so it has a new thrill ride to offer in 2023. Once again, thank you to Rick Muniraz of The Motley Fool for those words. We turn from there back to Disneyland, where Chron.com is reporting A land you likely have never heard of was canceled years ago, and it could have been the next big thing. They write, imagine this. You've been informed that the great archaeologist Indiana Jones is missing. Your task is to find him. You climb aboard a minecart, which takes you on a rollicking journey around temple ruins and lava pits. If you look up at the right moment, you might just see the Disneyland Railroad passing by or a Jungle Cruise boat motoring along. This was the incredible, ambitious, and ultimately impossible dream of Indiana Jones and the Lost Expedition, the greatest Disneyland land that never was. The 1980s were the era of George Lucas at Disneyland. In 1986, the Michael Jackson 3D spectacular Captain EO, written by Lucas, debuted in the park, followed the year after by the Star Tours ride based on the Star Wars franchise. With the hotly awaited third movie in the Indiana Jones series on the horizon, Disney was eager to get more Lucas IP into the parks. Disney was also considering a revamp of Adventureland, one of Disneyland's original sections. Imagineers were given no limitations and no budget. The goal was simply to create the coolest, best retheming imaginable. And boy, did they deliver. Based on concept art, Indiana Jones and the Lost Expedition would have been housed in a single massive show building. Inside, 4 attractions would be taking place simultaneously. The first was a Jeep ride that took you through the iconic scenes from the movies. Next was the minecart attraction, a high-speed roller coaster with indoor and outdoor components. Summoned to get to Indy's aid, guests would have zipped through deadly ruins and bubbling lava pits, coming to a stop as a flood nearly engulfed them. In the nick of time, an animatronic Jones would have appeared to hustle the cars to safety. The third and fourth attractions were the Disneyland Railroad and the Jungle Cruise, both of which would need major modifications to their current tracks to integrate seamlessly into the Indiana Jones experience. It would have been a massive undertaking at even Disney's most flush times, but with Euro Disney failing miserably across the pond, CEO Michael Eisner took one look at the plans and knew even a minor version of the land would be prohibitively expensive. Not wanting to lose all the spectacular work and aware that Adventureland still needed some fresh life, some pieces did see the light of day, however. The biggest was, of course, Indiana Jones Adventure, the thrilling Jeep ride into the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. It features many of the ideas initially pitched by Imagineering. Indiana Jones lost and in need of rescue, a high-speed chase through beloved scenes from the films, and a violation of the temple's sacred ruins. The ride opened at Disneyland in 1995 to great fanfare and huge lines. It was the first Disney ride with a truly interactive and immersive queue meant to entertain fans during hours-long waits, and it's still one of the park's most popular attractions today. The roller coaster concept, sadly, got much shorter shrift. Desperate to add thrill rides to the anemic Euro Disney, Indiana Jones et le Temple des Perles opened in 1993. All the wonder of the concept was erased, and Disney opted instead for a very standard amusement park roller coaster. To jazz things up, for a few years they operated the roller coaster backward. But the trick lost its novelty fast, and now it's just another forgettable coaster. The idea of rebooting the Lost Expedition concept comes up every now and again. For a while, there was chatter that Disney World's Dinoland USA would be rethemed with the Indiana Jones treatment. But that, alas, was just another rumor. Indiana Jones and the Lost Expedition was, in the end, very aptly named. Once again, thank you, Cron.com, for those words. And now you are up to date. Make sure that if you liked this video, you hit that thumbs up button and ensure you are subscribed with the notification bell turned on so you never miss a Disney Parks news update. And are you interested in seeing the Lost Expedition of Indiana Jones come somewhere to a Disney park near you? Let us know in the comments. As always, we look forward to hearing your perspective. And for the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time for another edition of the Disney Parks News Update.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.